It means it's time for Box Talk. Thanks, Chris, for popping in and being here, my guy. Got a couple boxes to unbox, to open. A couple rewards that I have that have come in. I know what all of them are because I recognize all of the senders. And so that's fun. Also, been waiting all day to sip on a Mad Tree Pumpkin. It's a local brewery to me. One of my favorites, honestly, in Cincinnati is Mad Tree. They just make really good beer, and the Pumpkin is a perfectly delightful October beer. So, cheers to you for being here, for watching. I saved a little bit just for that. Let's do the unboxing. I want to do the unboxing. So first, let's do this package from Post Punk Pal, friend of the show, Jeff Schiller, which, knowing that this was coming from him, I knew what this was. Dude's constantly cranking out indie comics, making really good stuff. And this is actually a spin-off series from one of his main titles, Magic Powder. But this is a spin-off called The Elf with No Name. And look at this freaking cover. It's so good. The colors pop. It's got the full fade. The Elf with No Name has been super fun. It is like a flashback. It takes place in the same world as Magic Powder, but it takes place at a completely different time. And so this is Old West. The Lucha Dwarves. Like, come on. I feel like he's writing this comic just for me at this point because it's outstanding. Man, that's a high gloss, super good quality cover. Want to take a look inside? I know you do. I do. We've got time. Here's page. I don't know. Here's a page randomly flip to, and another randomly flip to page. He's got dragons now in The Elf with No Name. So shout out to Jeff Schiller for just making awesome freaking comics, man. Like it's just good stuff. And so here's the full team. You know what? He might be just writing it for me. That's very possible. Because I mean, it looks, this guy could, it's not, but that guy could totally be me. Look at the hair. Look at the hair. Look at the pectorals. I definitely don't have muscles like that. Anyway, Elf with No Name, super great stuff from Jeff Schiller. He's also got the next issue, which is the start of the second arc of Magic Powder in pre-launch right now on Kickstarter. So you can go and I'm sure he's going to have a catch-up tier and you can do all the things with the Elf with No Name too and get caught up on that series because it's just as fun. Super, super fun. So there is the first package. I have to rearrange things to make room so that I have a pile. We just, accumulate stuff on tabletops and then eventually we end up with just no room for anything. This next package right here is from Nick. Man, I'm going to slaughter your last name. Argenbray? We're going to say that. I actually met Nick at the Space, the Small Press Alternative Comic Expo in Columbus back in April. And I was already out of money when I met him. Because I think I've talked about this, but I didn't expect to be buying as much as I did as quickly as I did there. And so by the time I got to him, I was like, hey, so you're real fun to talk to, but I'm out of money. I don't have anything left, but you have Kickstarter coming, right? And he was like, I totally do, for issue 3 of my series, Excavator. And so I was like, when it happens, I will do the catch up because this is what I would have been doing anyway. And so I've got physicals of issue 1. And it's D4K Studios. It's hard to read backwards. And then we've got issue 2. I'll be honest with you, I forget the premise of the story, but It's this the turtle guy, and then the chick with the huge sword is the main point. These are hefty books. This is not just like a 17-page floppy. This is a hefty, hefty book. But this is the third issue, and so yeah, man, I dig the first cover, like layouts of it. He had some preview images that he showed me his face that I was like, yeah, that looks sick. So super excited to get into it, especially honestly, I kind of like when I forget what stuff is about because then like I backed it for a reason, right? Like I know I'm gonna like it because I backed it, and then when I get it, because I forgot what the premise is of things, um, now I get to experience a whole new thing, and it's like, ooh, this is a dope comic, and it'll be a whole new experience. So here I go. Sometimes having a terrible memory is a good thing. So yeah, so that's Excavator D4K Studios from Nick Argenbright. Argenbright. My gym teacher in grade school, his last name was Arbogast. And I feel like that's what I always want to say when I see Nick's name, but it's not the same. This last package, do not bend, thank you, came from Comics Unknown. Um, there is a whole lot of rad comics in this package, and a whole lot of just bonus sweet stuff here. So, Comics Unknown presents, they've got an indie horror anthology, square bound, trade size, that is called Phantasmagoria. And this is Goop. Goop is actually a post punks character, CLZeno. But Goop on the cover of this one, several covers for this anthology, which I think is cool. And what he's done, there we go. So we've got several stories in here. Where's Goop? Goopity goop goop. Yeah, great. Okay. I need to get a hold of Mr. Zeno, but yeah, so Jorge Alvarez puts together Phantasmagoria. The second volume of this is actually like it just went up on pre-launch. He's going to be launching it sometime soonish, and so I'm excited. I love horror anthologies. This is the perfect book to be getting in October. I also have here issues 1 and 2 of Exodus Z. This is a zombie comic from Jorge. Here's the cover of issue 1. Zombies. Also from Comic Unknown is a book called Gaia's Revenge, which I provided a whole quote for, and I believe it made it onto the cover. So that's hella rad. I'm just checking. Yeah, Gaia's Succession is in this book, and that is in Phantasmagoria, and then it spun off into a full. But then here's the cover for issue 2 of Exodus Z, which, like, come on, just crazy zombie nonsense, and a whole lot of bonus stuff in the back. I love bonus stuff in the back of my bagged and boarded comics. How's things? How's life? How are we doing? How's so we've got a zombie angel. We've got a comic unknown label sticker. We've got a couple prints here, and they just keep. Look at that guy's hair, huh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that Life is Rad today, Chris. The picture you shared is sick. Dude, these prints rule. Hey, another post-punk with Blood Sable. The crossover. Blood Sable, shout out to Rideshow. And then shout out to another post-punk with Drunk Mom, CL Zeno. And we've got another rad zombie sticker for X to Z. Quite the care package. Thanks, Comic Unknown. But before I yeah, this is sit here. Let's crack this bad boy open because I've seen previews, I've seen artwork. I love the black gutters that are used in this book. Let's just go straight to the shunk, shall we? I'm a sucker for a good onomatopoeia. Is that the right word? I mean, the sound effect word. Is that an onomatopoeia? I feel like it is. Shunk. That's a good one. Another good onomatopoeia is lurch for those that are here for the subtle nods and shameless plugs to my own comic. Barricade Brigade, which is in a comic shop in Lawton, Oklahoma as of today. It's sick. Yeah. All right. So here is, if you want to read Gaia's Succession, it's available on Global Comics. I read this, provided pull quote for it. It's good stuff. It is the embodiment of Mother Nature coming back to just kick some unholy ass and rip a dude's head out of the rest of his body, which is rad. So, but yeah, there's Gaia's Succession as well, which pops up in Phantasmagoria. So lots of good stuff in this whole freaking these are all books that I'm gonna need to make time to read sooner than later because I've gotten to a point where I'm just reading what I want to read. It's kind of great, actually. I'm just reading books for my own entertainment, with zero, like there's no pressure behind it to read it or get anything published or anything like that. I'm just reading to enjoy, and I'm enjoying reading to enjoy. So there's that for what it's worth. I've been cranking through some old, like 70s era horror comics this month because obviously, right? Currently reading my small stack of Boris Karloff Presents Gold Key comics. And so I've read 2 and I've got 1.5 left. I was getting real tired last night as I was reading, but next up will be the House or the Vault of Horrors. I'll be reading a couple of those. I don't know. I don't remember all the titles. They're all, 70s era classic horror comics that are just amazing. And so I have been reading those because I enjoy horror anthologies and I would love to be a part of one. So if you're an artist, just shamelessly here, any artists watching this that want to collaborate on a story that may or may not end up in some type of horror anthology at some point with me writing, that would be super dope. And you can just let me get a hold of me, send me a message here on Substack or wherever. If you're watching this on YouTube, I think these get to YouTube eventually. Get in touch with me and let's talk because I would love to. 2026 is going to be the year that in some way, shape or form or fashion, some type of horror anthology is going to have a story written by me in it. And if I If we have to make the damn anthology ourselves, Chris, then that's what we're going to do for CHK Comics. But that is my goal for 2026 already. I'm already there. On top of Barricade Brigade, on top of everything else that I'm writing. And there's some prose stuff that I've been writing to submit, like short prose horror to magazines and publications that are literally all over the world. So I would love to get one of each, a comic and a horror anthology and a prose short story in a horror collected anthology or magazine or publication or whatever. I want that to happen. And so I'm going to keep writing until that happens because I don't give up. And I have stories in my brain and they're all just rattling around up there. And I've got some that I think could be really fun comics. So, plus, like now that I work in a warehouse, I feel like the warehouse might be haunted. Like I keep seeing dark shadow figure type things, like standing in certain areas of the warehouse or moving between aisles. Like at the other end of the warehouse, I'll see just a shape like out the corner of my eye look like it has moved just like that, like just that fast. And I'm like, what the hell did I just see? And so, um, I I feel like there's a thing there. I was talking to Larry. We all know and love Larry, the retired truck driver that works with me part time in the warehouse. Um, he said something yesterday that I should have written down because I was so just like baffled by what he said. I didn't even think to write it down because I was baffled and then I was stunned and then I was speechless and then I was just cackling at what he said. And I can't remember it, but he said a really good zinger yesterday and I loved it. So, but I was talking to Larry this morning about it and um about just like, hey, I feel like this place is haunted. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what if it was built on a cemetery? And like, that's the poltergeist activities. And I was like, you've got something here, Larry. We could definitely spin this into something. And I just like, the ideas that I keep having are all horror centric. And it gets to a point as a creator where it's like you do submissions, not that I've done a ton, but as a writer, I can only do so much, right? Like I have to rely on either having my own creative team or being partnered with somebody. And I've tried writing scripts for places that I'm not going to name that have been frustrating experiences for me. And it's like, I'm just going to do it myself. Like, that's just in the vein of everything else I've been doing, period, is I'm just going to do it myself. And so if we need to, I'm glad that you're saying A, that we have lots to talk about. Yeah, you need to fill me out on all the things. And then B, saying that I'm close to your thoughts. Like that excites me because I know we've talked about doing like an annual issue where we involve other creators and come in and it's still a CHK production or presentation or publication or whatever you want to call it. But what's up, Vaughn? Um, I know we've talked about doing like those annuals and working with other talent and creatives and doing all the things and bringing them in and having all the stories either written by us or like I work with a bunch of different artists and you work with a bunch of different writers and we come up with stories that then end up in the annual anthology issues that we put out. But doing something specifically, I feel like we could do something specifically with um, each of us and have like our own anthology issues that then we get to curate. Like I think that's a thing that I want to do. I'm an external processor, so a lot of this is just kind of falling out of my face as I'm sitting here thinking about it. But homebrewed, home. Wait, those are words that I don't. What is a whatnot stream? Is that like a live auction thing? Is that what Whatnot does? Um, anyway, yeah, I just like because I write stuff and like if I do that could be an easy excuse for me to do like a 2 or 4 page just me and like take a swing at doing sequential art. Like why the hell not, right? Um I did the zines. I've done a variant cover. I like at some point I would like to try to take a swing at sequential art just to see what happens and what comes out. And also because if I do that, then I can build confidence in that and then I can be the full like cartoonist thing of what's up, Gerald? Of like doing everything myself. And if I can do everything myself, then I'm just never going to stop creating comics. And I'm just going to go like just crazy and create all of the things. But I just need to get reps and get practice. And it, if Gerald says that I should just go draw, then I should just go draw. That's what that is. Because holy shit, dude, I'm stoked to get your art book because like it's gonna be awesome. I'm so freaking hyped. And I saw that Frank just dropped the teaser. Is your new story in pre-launch on Kickstarter already? I feel like I saw that in the update for 1,000 cuts. So if that's wrong, tell me. But I feel like I saw that your next story is in pre-launch because I saw the cover that you were working on with the Rolling Squidbone chat that we have. Because even though I don't chat regularly, I don't know how y'all have all that time to chat and have so much to say. I lurk a whole lot. So, um, yeah, Life, Love and Death on the Dark Side of the Moon launches November 3rd. So that is one to keep your antenna up for because holy shit, dude, that cover is insane. It's so good. Um you're one of the people that every time you put out a new cover or you are dropping new artwork or whatever, I just stop like just slack-jawed staring at my screen as I'm looking at whatever you just put out. Like it's just so good, man. Um, oh, I didn't know actually. I had no idea. I'll do the backup story for you. I'll draw a backup story that's like just a strip by me. That's what I'll do. That's fine. Um, but yeah, I want to take a swing at doing something sequential and whether that's just doing like a single page because I've written single page scripts that just didn't go anywhere for reason A, B, C, whatever, that I could just draw those myself and see what happens. And because like I don't care, right? Like I just want to make the thing. I'm not trying to, I'm not under the pretenses of like, oh, I'm going to make $1 bajillion making comics and I'm going to be able to do this full time. This is not my full time job. And that's totally okay. Uh, because I actually am in a spot where I like my full time job. So that's weird. I'm laughing because it's weird. It's a new feeling for me. But I, yeah, I think I'm just going to make the stuff and just put it out there and maybe I'll post it here on Substack and I'll just post new single page comics here. I can't believe I'm talking myself into doing all of these things. Who are you guys and why are you convincing me to do these things that I actually know deep down that I want to do? So, and there's got to be an origin for my skull punk graffiti tag thing. Like there he's got to come from somewhere, right? Like where does he come from? Or it, because it's just a skull. Uh, I don't know. There's ideas. There's plenty of ideas, and there's plenty of ways that I could go with it, and um, all the fun to be had because making comics is just the best damn feeling. Like it's just the coolest thing. And sending comics to people and seeing people post about receiving their comics and excited and messaging or texting or emailing or DMing or just leaving comments on their socials about something that I created is insane. Like, if you're watching this, which if you're watching this, you're probably a comic creator. But if you're watching this and you're not making a thing and putting it out in the world, but you want to, like, take this moment right now. You and me, take this moment to hear me tell you to make the damn thing. Just make the thing. Much like they're telling me that I need to just take the swing and do the sequential art and make single page comics fully myself. Um, I am then also telling you, like, I'm not just going to talk the talk. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to make, at some point this weekend, I'll try and make a single page comic. We'll see. We'll see. And if I don't, then at least there will be some progress pics or something and that I'm trying. And I'll post all of it here to Substack because I'm treating Substack all as if it were just my very personal zine journal for public people to read. Because that's what zines are, is just very personal, very, at least my experience is that's what they are, is that it's just, here's the thing. I want to make comics, and so I'm going to make comics. And so apparently I'm going to draw comics too, which is never something I ever thought that I would actually say and mean, but I'm going to do it, damn it, because by God, Gerald told me to. And so I'm going to do it. And with the encouragement of people like Chris specifically just constantly beating into me like, yes, you are an artist. Yes, you do have a style. Yes, you should just have confidence in what you're doing because it's cool. And like, just go. And having people tell me like, yeah, this is, seeing people order my variant cover of Barricade Brigade that don't know me personally is insane. Like, you backed a thing and ordered a book with artwork that I made on it. And I don't know why that's still a mental block for me, but it's a process. And this is just, again, I'm an external processor. We're just talking through emotions. We're feeling things. And, again, just do whatever it is that you've been putting off doing or giving yourself excuses for doing or not making time to do. If you make the time, you can do the thing. And I just need to make the time to do the thing because currently I'm really bad at making time. I'm real bad, but I'm working on it. And speaking of things that I'm working on, it's October, which means it's all horror all the time over on my YouTube. And because I'm working on being better about promoting my YouTube channel, I'm going to do that. So I had a horror panel on Sunday. We streamed with I streamed with three creators. We got together, we talked horror. We all watched a movie called The Gate from 1987. And then we deep dived into talking about The Gate, which was actually a whole lot of fun. All three of the creators, Hans Fink, Adam Santangelo, and Alex M. Clark, all said to me when I talked to them about joining this panel, they were all like, I'm not like a super big horror person. I'm like, I disagree. You're going to come on. We're going to talk horror anyway. And so we did. And I think it worked out really well, honestly. Like, for them to say that they're not horror people, we talked for like an hour and a half about a horror movie and then about the genre in general. And it was a great time. I love talking about horror with people that even self-admittedly say that they're not huge horror people because there's still horror movies that came up that they were into, or, like, we all kind of agreed that The Gate was a pretty fun movie. Is it the best movie ever? No, but it was pretty fun. It's wholesome horror, turns out, is the genre that we were minting. That's now a thing. Wholesome horror is a thing. You're welcome. But, and if you doubt me, go to my Threads account, and there's a whole conversation where Adam Michael Schwartz, who created Armored and does a whole lot of screenwriting and just is crazy busy with writing stuff, and I were talking about wholesome horror, and Michael drops like, I don't know, 8 or 9 different movies that all would classify as wholesome horror. And I was like, oh my gosh, every single one of these hit exactly what we were talking about. So yeah, wholesome horror is now a thing that I'm going to be paying attention to and being able to label movies going forward because I just think that's fun. We talked horror though, and like I'm gonna do it again this Sunday, and it's gonna be. I gotta confirm some things because it's been radio silent from Chad and Doc, so I gotta get a hold of Chad and Doc. Chad and Doc, if you're watching this, please message me or check your email because I emailed you, and I would love to. Monster Squad is one of the wholesome horror movies that was on Michael's list. See, this is a home run. We're just giving it a name. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's just horror's the best. I love horror. I love horror comics. I want to make more horror comics. I love horror movies. I want to watch more horror movies. Oh shit, we watched The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. Holy crap, that movie's intense. It's so heavy. It's really good. It's really good. If like exorcism movies and possessions and demons and stuff like that in your horror movies, it was so good. Like Russell Crowe. Holy shit. Guy's got some chops. He's going someplace. That actor, he's gonna do some things, you know? It's really good. It's on Hulu right now. If you want to watch it and you have Hulu, you should watch it because it's insane. It's so far as the standout for everything that I've watched as far as horror movies for this season. And I keep posting because again, time. I just keep posting the posters. Yeah, I keep posting the posters of the movies that I'm watching in chunks. And just of like I watched these, want to talk about them. So if you've watched them or haven't watched them or have thoughts or feelings or whatever, let me know. And that's what this whole thing is for. That's why we post all the stuff, and that's why I'm just constantly sharing everything because I like conversation and I like talking about horror and movies and comics. And so let's do that. Also, thanks for watching this. I try to do this. It's become kind of like an every other week thing, honestly, like as a cadence. Um, and that's all right, especially because I like college is back in session and I do video production for my local college. And so that's going to get busier because now men and women's basketball is about to start, and we've got hockey and volleyball's ending, and football's happening. But I try not to do football. It's too much. I would prefer to do basketball or volleyball or literally anything other than football, honestly, except for swimming because swimming sucks. Doing video for a swim meet is the worst thing ever. So, yeah, I know you're right, Gerald. I should just I'm the poster boy for making posts, posting posters. Perfect. I knew there was wordplay in there somewhere, and I knew that you were going to be the one, Vaughn, to do that. So, I am. I I'm gonna make I'm gonna make that one page comic. I know exactly what script it's gonna be and exactly what I'm gonna do. And I because I wrote it, I already have an image of how it should look. I just hope I can get it out of my brain and onto a page. Oh, and I'm analog. So I saw. Speaking of analog digital, I saw like a notebook journal thing that as you draw on the paper, it automatically transmits it to your device, whether that's an iPad or an iPhone, or you can use it as a drawing pad on like an actual like PC. But it was an Instagram like sponsored thing, and I've been burnt by those before, so now I just don't trust any of them. I don't think any of them are real if it's a sponsored Instagram thing. Um, which also, if you want to run sponsored Instagram ads, just know I'm not going to believe that that's a real thing. I'm not going to give any money to any of that because I've been burned. So, and I probably am not the only person. But I saw this journal, and you drew within the binder thing, and then it just zaps it immediately to your phone. I'm a tech person, I promise. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. But then you automatically have a vector file of what you've done. So if you are like, ooh, I should like the second line isn't parallel. I somehow made it weird and wonky. You can just grab it and whoop. But it starts analog and then you can just tweak it digitally. If that's a real thing, that feels like something that would be super awesome to use. And again, if any artists are watching this and have experience using something similar to that, let me know because I'm curious. Like I don't. It's a whole realm that I don't know yet. But once I get my mind set on figuring something out, then I just go down deep internet rabbit holes of learning about the thing, and then I'll end up learning about like what is art instead of just like how to do comic art and sequential art, because that's my mo. So uh yeah, I'm gonna make time though to start working on the single page comic. And when I get that, I will tag the three of you and just blame you for it coming into existence. But I'm gonna have fun with it because that's the point of art and making and creating is to have fun. So, see, the paper pen phone camera thing, like I have so many questions, Gerald. I have so many questions. Like, if you do that and you do it analog, do you have to do a high res scan to then have it digitally? Can you just take a really good picture with your phone? Like, are phone cameras good enough at this point that you can do that and then use that picture to like digitally color or whatever? Because that's the other thing is everything I do has to be black and white because I know zero color theory and um let's cover use your phone camera. That's insane. Like that blows my mind. I don't understand. I also am a classic overthinker. So there's that as well. Yours is there's something there with the phone camera thing. Um yeah, Clip Studio. That's the I saw Clip Studio and I saw Procreate, I think is the other one that the whatever that Instagram ad because I like clicked on it and I'm like, well, I'll always look at it because that's a cool idea, but I'm not going to spend any money. Um, and of course, everything had like pop up like save 70% now, and I was like, I trust you even less. But it was talking about like you can then load the image into Procreate and then do whatever you want to with it in Procreate. But you start with like just I did this was sitting here, just like a journal, like, I think it's A5 size. And they've got, I think it's the pen that has some sort of something that connects it. It's not battery powered, like like an Apple Pencil thing. So that's not, and it's like a real pen. Like it's ink and stuff, and there's a different nib for pencil, so you can start with pencil and then go to ink, with the pen nib. But I just was like that. I don't. That's magic. That's wizardry. I don't. I don't understand. That's out of my technological brain. I can wire and cable video systems like you wouldn't believe. But I can't do whatever the hell that stuff does. So I use Procreate to technology can be a rabbit hole. Yeah. And can keep you from doing the very thing you set out to do. Yes. See, that's part of my problem is early on, I wanted to have all of the right tools and the right equipment and all the right stuff. And I literally talked to somebody on the show and they were like, I started with a napkin and a pencil at happy hour with coworkers and I just wanted to draw. And so I just started drawing there. And I was like, oh, I can just start. I don't have to have the right mechanical pencil or whatever, or I don't have to have the micron fine tipped to whatever they like. I don't have to have the Procreate subscription to an app that I don't know how to use. I can just start. And so I did buy a couple markers, but they're all purple and pink and I just started, and that's how I started doing the thank you notes that I send out to people is I just started. And I was like, it's just fun for me to do skull sketches and stuff. And so that's what I do, and I have fun doing it. And it's because I forget who that person was. So apologies if you're watching that person, but thank you for telling me like you just got to start with what you have. And if you've got a pen and a happy hour napkin, then that's what you're going to start with. And that's what you should start with. And just start there. Like just start. And so I've said that enough that I'm going to go start because now I have the creative energy at 9:47 at night when I should be going to bed because I slept like 3 hours last night. Um, but I'm gonna just go start. So thank you for being here, for the ever present encouragement. I appreciate it. Tools are subjective, just like the art that they make, and so listen, Vaughn, I'll be in that cave with you, man, and we'll just draw on the cave walls with whatever mud or whatever we find. I don't know. I don't want to have to do it in blood. That feels. I'm not willing to do that yet for art. Maybe I don't know. Gene Simmons did it for his comic book about Kiss. So there's that fun fact. If you didn't know, there's a Kiss comic that came out, I don't know, 3 decades ago now, that had Gene Simmons' blood mixed with the ink. So that, and every issue that was printed had a little bit of Gene Simmons' blood printed on the page. And that's just, if that's not the most metal thing you've ever heard, you know, I don't know what could be more metal than that, other than maybe just hanging out in a cave and drawing on the cave. So, um, because stories need to be told. And if you've got a story, you need to tell it. And I've got stories and I need to go tell them. So, for now, for everybody else, that's going to be it for this box talk. Thank you for tuning in, for sounding off in the comments. This is always way more fun when I have people sounding off in the comments, especially when they're telling me to make art. That's always rad. Kay, I will be in touch because I'm probably going to crash, honestly, after this. So tomorrow, let's talk. I want to hear all about our book, Barricade Brigade, issue number 0, being in local comic shops as of right now in Lawton, Oklahoma. I need to get out hopefully this weekend to my local shops with my book and say, hey, you want to put these on your shelf? That'd be cool. And, that'll be that. And that's what we'll do. So, everybody else though, like, thanks for tuning in and sounding off and doing all the things that you do. Subscribe, follow me here on Substack, and then make sure to do the same on YouTube and all the socials that I'm at Longbox Punk. You can find me everywhere. I'm all about branding. And so that's how you find me wherever I am. But, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go make art, and you should stop watching and you should go make art as well. Read indie comics, but also make indie comics, because I'm out of here.